Welcome to Unknown for the Most Likely. Today we have our special guest, Sean Beard of Waves Crashing Piano Chords, and also his latest project and such. Today we're going to be talking all about everything, all around, and I don't know. Let's see what happens today. Um, we will be having more episodes coming in the future of Unknown for the Most. I'll update you on that after. All right. There we go.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I can't see you though.
Oh, hold on. Just okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. How's it going today?
Good, man. I still can't see you though. I don't know if other people could see you or not.
Can you see me? Hello, hello, hello. I think I might have to. Well, thank you for coming on to the show, man. I've been really excited about this for a while.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for wanting me on the show.
It's really a pleasure. Basically, you've done a lot for, like, not even just like the noise community, but also a lot for like, Juggalo community and stuff like that. That's actually really kind of a cool little turn.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
But how did it all start, basically? Like, before, like, you started this project, what were your initial thoughts? Were you in other projects beforehand?
I really, it kind of goes back to like the early 2000s, like maybe even 2000. And I was in a new metal cover band, which I don't think there's any evidence of. Actually, there's a talent show VHS of us, and I'm thinking of getting it digitalized soon because I think it's kind of embarrassing. But you know how like new metal bands back then, they always had the sixth member, that played like the sampler or like the DJ, and so I got a sampler without really knowing what a sampler was, just knowing that, Slipknot had one, Chimera had one, American Head Charge had one, So I got that, and it was an SP-808 groove sampler, which took zip disks and shit. So I'm kind of like figuring out from there. I'm like, okay, so I get the thing. I'm like, oh, so they're the dudes that are making like the sound effects and shit in the band. So then I kind of just start getting into fucking making sound effects on the sampler, and just kind of getting into noise through that, because we were doing like at first like what's that one Godsmack song, but it was like dun 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 dun, dun get back, and then I put like a pew, like shit like that, so then I kind of just got into making like noise compositions and stuff that way.
Yeah.
And that band, that band never really went anywhere. Go figure. And I could never find anybody like-minded around here to make music with, so it just always kind of was a noise project kind of from the start. And then I think when it got its name was when I started like just going to shows I wasn't on and crashing them and shit like that. And as far as I kind of was making noise before I knew that it was a genre, really, because I was pretty young. I mean, I was into like Slipknot and Mushroomhead and all those bands at that time.
Yeah.
And then, through the internet, like most of us discovered that it was a genre, and got into White House. Two Dead Sluts, One Good Fuck was really big around that time. And I think it was maybe pre-YouTube. There was a video of them going around where they were like in this barn. They were naked, and everyone was just completely shocked. And I think that really, really inspired me. As well, and then I guess the whole ICP thing came in just from then getting into the noise scene and realizing not to generalize the whole thing, but at that time specifically, how kind of pompous everybody was. Everyone was really kind of uppity about being into this, and I think I've always had a sense of humor, so I took noise with a grain of salt, even though I really liked it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that I had the idea of doing the Juggalo noise like really before I started doing it. And then it just kind of fit the mold because whereas everyone's doing these really, you know, from like kid touching crap to racism and stuff, and no one's really offended because that's the point, at least at that point. Now maybe
Yeah.
people are getting, but yeah, me doing the Juggalo thing like really upset everybody. Uh, like really easily too. Like I could like punch people and like puke and all of that stuff, but once I like put face paint on and like
Yeah.
advertised it as Juggalo Power Electronics and through the Faygo, everyone was just really in an uproar, And I think I saw a comment years ago where one guy he was like, "Man, this would be my favorite noise project if it wasn't for that Juggalo fucking shit." And it was like, oh, that's so awesome. It's like he doesn't get it, but he totally likes it, but he can't.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was really happy in that moment. Uh,
So for playing
um,
shows, like I've kind of seen some clips where it's actually like it's still comedic to this day when I watch it. Where you're on stage and that you're getting told to get the fuck off the stage.
oh yeah, that was 2008. So that was one of the ones where I was crashing. That was before the Juggalo thing came in. I was just crashing a show. So that's a really early one. And that was a metalcore show locally. It was at the Penny Arcade. And surprisingly enough, the people that you see in the crowd are actually people that came to see me do it. Everyone that was there for all the metalcore bands was kind of like outside waiting and smoking. And this band was setting up on the stage, and the dude kind of caught wind of what I was doing because I was setting up my amp on the floor and everything. And he's like, "What the hell is this fucking dude doing?" He kept, he was calling me a faggot before I even felt really. So the whole video, that's the whole set. Like I kicked in and got up and fell. Like I don't know how long I played, 15 seconds or whatever, and the rest is history.
Yeah, so basically after that you had like more shows where it was like accustomed that people knew what they were going for.
Uh, not to say because that was 2008. I actually fucked up my leg really bad. I was in
Oh shit.
bed for 6 months after that, like bedridden. It was like a sports injury surgeon thing I had to go to. It kind of sucked. Um, and then 2009 was kind of light, and really from like 2011 to 2012, I was in Rochester and Buffalo, and then I was crashing like uh, more shows that mattered, I guess. I ended up getting banned in just about every low key Buffalo and Rochester venue.
Holy
Um,
shit.
yeah, that was I was doing it pretty fucking nonstop at that point. Um, and so everyone was really upset. I was really hated. Yeah, locally it wasn't even the Juggalo thing. It was just that I was this dude that would show up to any genre event and kind of fuck shit up.
That's
And
awesome.
now in hindsight, like I hear a lot of the locals now are kind of like they've told the story so much that they get a kick out of it and shit. It's like, oh, I was there for that. But I know at the time everyone was like, man, I fucked up the show because it would, it's like the dude shows up and throws Faygo everywhere and just fucking gets to a fight with the security and all that stuff. It's like I don't think the show goes on necessarily after I left. Obviously, I never stuck around. So those were all the real ones where I was really getting my ass kicked like a fucking lot. Um, like I'm not really a dude who like fought in school and shit. So in
Yeah.
all that footage where I'm like punching people and stuff, I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. And so I got my ass handed to me a lot during that point. Um, and then in 2012, I think I pressed the 12-inch with foot and mouth disease, and
Oh yeah.
and then by 2013, I think the buzz started online because of the footage and the whole Juggalo thing. And then I started getting actually booked. The first show I got paid, I remember it was a local venue, the Montage, and I was banned from there for, the stuff. And the dude gets a hold of me on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, I know you're banned, but there's this fucking metalcore band playing tonight, and they are just fucking douchebags. Like, will you come fucking ruin the show?" So I got like, it's got like gun for hire, and so I went and did it, and he actually gave me like $100 or some shit afterwards, and that was pretty funny. And then I think locally, like Jamestown, New York, there were a lot of like shows going on, and Buffalo had a scene going on at the time with like Water Torture and a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
bands like that. Which all those bands liked me, but I think I was too confrontational for the crowds, even at that time, for them to want to book me or anything. So, but in
Yeah.
Jamestown, New York area, George Moore, he put on some fucking shows like at a skate park shit. Maybe like 20 people would show up or something, but it would be a lot of real like outsider art, bands playing
Oh
bands and
sick.
shit like that. Yeah. Um, and then in 2014, I think is when I played Michigan Grind Fest, which was fucking insanity. Um, and I remember at that show, like they like had me up in the air at the
Oh
end and
sick.
stuff. And I remember thinking like in my head, like, "Oh, I think this is like my moment or some shit," some cheesy shit like that. And after that, I don't know. Yeah, I got booked a lot and like went to different states and played to a lot of noise shows that really like had fun and took it serious. But I think by 2017, I really I played a show where everybody knew the words, everyone was really into it, like no one was upset. And it was great. Like there was a circle pit, mosh pit, all this stuff that you wouldn't expect, or I wouldn't
Yeah.
anyways. And I kind of knew then, like, oh, I have to like stop because I feel like the legacy is really videos of people getting upset. And I don't think it was ever supposed to be this project where everyone knew the words and was really into it. Like it really did well. And I'm really happy about it. Like I fucking love it. It's awesome because I totally did not do it for that or expect it to happen. And like a lot of people seem to really fucking love waves. It's cool as shit. So I knew I had to stop then. And so outside of the actual announced last show in 2019, that was that there. So I guess that's like the short or long-winded version of it all.
Wow. So yeah, basically it went from just like, being hated so much, then being loved so much in the end.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I feel like everyone got in on the joke. Uh, and you can't really keep going if that's the case. Plus,
yeah.
I'm kind of a fucking wuss, and people were starting to show up to the gigs that were totally just trying to fucking knock my teeth out and stuff. And I kind of prove in the moment afterwards. I'd be like, "Holy shit, dude! I totally like stood my ground in that real deal fucking fight there. Like, I totally wanted to kick my ass to prove a point." Uh, and I don't know. I didn't want to do that forever. Even at the last show in 2019, like a couple like flew out from Florida or something to kind of celebrate their anniversary because they met over over like having knowing my project in common.
Oh, that's
Uh,
sweet.
and it's like, well, I can't break that guy's nose, like
Yeah.
you know, I think another thing too is as the project actually gained notoriety, I got really happy. Like I was pressing records and like 100 records would sell out and like if I don't know, just instantly. And I think at the beginning I was a really upset person because I was still in my early 20s and I was coming out of being an upset kid.
Yeah.
And then I do that show and I kind of get to like exercise the demons by going out and being this asshole that like, comes on people and shit. and, and yeah, I don't know. By the end, I was just kind of fucking happy and stuff, and I don't think I felt like doing that kind of show anymore. In fact, I love the last show. Like a lot of people were really into it and stuff, but I know that it's not like this. Like it doesn't compare to me breaking my leg or punching out some dude or some shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I hope that answers the question or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's actually, yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. And then you ended up starting your own podcast kind of thing, and you're basically a collector.
Yeah, yeah, I always have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the most interesting things like I've always seen and stuff like that. Where did it start for what was where are you collecting first?
Collect. Um, I guess it was Beavis and Butthead. Realistically, that was the first thing that I started collecting as a kid.
Hmm.
But then there were little things like 8 tracks when I was really little because my grandma had them, and she still had like my aunt's AC/DC 8 track and stuff, and I really thought 8 tracks were the shit. They kind of look like video games, but they have music on them or something, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I was really fascinated with those. So probably 8 tracks. My first like favorite thing ever was Gremlins. Like I think that's where if I really think
That's
back,
sick.
that's where I realized I'm an obsessive person. Because once I got into Gremlins, it was like it's weird that that's the smallest part of like all the shit I collect. Yeah, maybe it
Yeah.
makes sense though, but yeah. Then my grandma's a collector, and when I
Oh,
think
that's
about her,
awesome.
yeah, when I think about her house when I was little, especially, she had Wizard of Oz shit everywhere and Elvis
Hmm.
shit. Those collector's plates and stuff. And
Yeah.
remember the Avon like cologne bottles and all that crap. It just
Okay.
yeah, you'd like go in the bathroom and instead of like a place to put anything, it's just like fucking all of the like cologne shaped as shoes and So I think she instilled that in me. And then realistically, the first Beavis item uh, she got for me and everything. So yeah, man. And then once I hit my 20s and you know, crazy enough, the noise project kind of made me money and stuff, and I was like, whoa. So I just went all fucking ham and bought some Beavis shit and got the bug even harder. Because obviously when I was little, I didn't think like, I'm gonna have the world's largest Beavis bug collection, you guys. Um, the only thing I really hoped when I was little was that I would own a critter from the Critters movie someday, which I didn't realize was that unrealistic. But I did end up fucking getting one, so that's kind of fucking nuts. I have two actually.
Oh,
Uh,
sick. Wow, man.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm just like hyper focused on a few things. The video rental store from when we were kids with VHS tapes and being afraid of the horror section. So I just want to be engulfed in that and yeah, I feel like that's most collectors is you want to capture this one period of life and just like surround yourself in this big fucking homage to it. So every time you want to like spank your monkey or watch the TV, you're just surrounded by everything that kicks ass. Uh,
Yeah. Uh, so we got a question on here. Talk about the Atari game.
oh wow. You want me to
There's
go
an
get it?
Atari game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see
One
what this
second.
is.
Uh, this is actually one of the few things I even kept, but there you go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I can't remember how many I made anymore. But the the initial goal was to have have it be like a Space Invaders type shit with me throwing Faygo at people and stuff. Uh, and I think to actually make those, I remember it's like you pretty much had to relearn MS DOS to program an old Atari game and stuff. So, anyways, it just turned into if you put it in, every like sound that an Atari can make, you just like generate with the joystick. So it almost was like a noise synth in a way. This dude in Australia bought it, and I remember there was footage of him using it in his noise set and shit because it just made Atari sounds or whatever.
Wow, that's so rare. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't even find those anymore.
I did a few. Yeah, I really when I started Hate Track Stereo and did like the 8 track label. Um, I think I went on I didn't do wax cylinders, but I did a piano scroll for my one buddy's band. And gosh, I fucking all I can really recall was the place that I got a hold of was shutting down. I had like three of them made, and I used to work at a nursing home, and I remember they had a player piano, and I like went back to my old job all like nonchalant and fucking hooked it up and like listened to it to make sure it worked, and then sent it out to the people who bought it. That so I might be the only person to do a fucking player piano of anything. And that dude's band was like real music and stuff, so it wasn't like noise related. But yeah. I tried to do it. I did a laser disc that actually had the grooves etched into it. But honestly, I think fucking Wolf Eyes did that before me. You know.
they're still kicking it, and they're like getting like, you know, everybody knows about them now because like
Yeah.
3 years ago, no one would really know shit about them.
I saw them, oh man, it's probably going on 20 years, so I don't even want to admit it. But yeah. And I got to play with Aaron Dillaway, which was big because he was my first noise CD. And I told him that. And he brought an umbrella for my set, which told me that he knew what I did. So it was very nice. That's a very good memory, actually.
Yeah. Aaron Dillaway is really one of my favorite noise artists right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always surprises the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's so good live too.
I would love to know about this new project that you just released. I think it's only on YouTube though. Is it on Bandcamp at all? This Sean Beard.
Oh yeah. I did put it on Bandcamp recently. The Make 'Em Laugh. Yeah.
This is interesting. I like this new direction of what you're doing.
Dude, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really just fucking I went and bought a drum kit off Facebook Marketplace, and I recorded that, and it's just drums, and the EDP Wasp, and then me singing, obviously. I honestly I wanted to capture like early Slipknot, but I don't know how you're familiar with early Slipknot, like self-titled and stuff, I assume.
Yeah.
Like Prosthetics and like Tattered and Torn and like Scissors and like Gently Off of Iowa and shit.
Yeah.
Like that. I fucking love those songs. I love those songs more than Slipknot itself, honestly. I wish they would have just been that kind of band more. I fucking dig that shit. I love Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat so much. Yeah. So really, that's just me. Not to downplay it, but it's just me trying to fucking haphazardly do that kind of shit. And I recorded that, and then I fucking sold the drum kit. So I don't know if I'm gonna do more of it or not. That's why the album cover is a picture of me, like at the height of my new metal phase. Like I got like the fucking horns going on. I got the ball chain necklace. Got a Deftone shirt.
Wow.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I don't know if there's going to be more of that. I'm sure it won't be performed live or anything. It's just, I still fucking make noise every day. Like, I still hook up the Wasp and make noise and record shit just for myself because I still get off on creating and listening back and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that one in particular, I just kind of went out of my way to be like, I have an idea, so I went and got the drums, and as soon as I recorded, I sold them and shit. And I felt like it was actually worth showing people. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Yeah, it's like I'll always have fun making noise, but you know, I guess it's just more of a hobby these days, if anything. And it always fucking was, anyways. So it's just really cool that Waves got the notoriety it did, and people really fucking got it. And got something from it. So anything I make from here is just because I had a fucking spark of creativity, I suppose, you know.
Wow, that's I mean, that's I think a lot of people, you know, nowadays like we just got over this like stupid ass like pandemic shit, and now like we're like less stressing and stuff like that, but there's still stupid people out there, so best thing is like keep your mind off and be creative. I like that. I love to see that, you know, with like every artist, in noise especially. 'Cause, like noise has definitely done a lot of changing for me. I went from just listening to fucking, pop music to punk music to like shit, listen to everything almost. And
Yeah.
noise has always been a big part of me and stuff. And I remember just hearing your music, Aaron Dillaway. I was listening to Merzbow for a bit. I think it was like Merzbow at 19. I knew about other, like, I think about names like J.K. Flash and all that stuff like that, like 17 years old or something like that. So yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I'd be shocked if someone told me they were into noise and they weren't like someone who's listened to so much music, because I feel like noise is almost where you've hit a wall and you've experienced everything and you're completely like desensitized to an audible experience.
Exactly.
So you're like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, this is pretty fucking sweet. Like, I get this, It's like, I'd be shocked if someone told me they didn't like music and only like noise, It's, yeah, I mean, shit. When I think back to what I was getting into in the early like 2000s when I did discover it was, Aaron Dillaway. Aaron Dillaway was the first noise CD, so that
Okay.
one was big. Cocky SP, they were huge to me. I don't know. I didn't really discriminate. And honestly, when I think about it, what I really do, there was a lot of MySpace artists back then that I'll probably never remember the names of. They were just like, short-lived projects and stuff. I mean, God, because this is the MySpace stage that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny. And then going out of that into the Facebook and stuff, there was like a whole new scene from that. But I was thinking kind of earlier, just in the fact of doing this interview, of how, like, people that are still making noise that I've known. And then I met so many people through noise, which it kicks ass, really. As much as I pissed off a lot of people, I made like some of my best friends, and it's funny. I kind of knew them all for like 12 years by curiosity or meeting up at shows and stuff like that. And now everyone's like old and a fuddy duddy, and I'm doing this interview and I'm just like, I do it as a hobby. Everyone's like, everyone's like boring and shit and has kids and stuff. And it really is almost like, that's where I'm happy for things like the internet, because everyone got documented the past like 10 to 12 years too. Everyone who made their mark did make their mark, so that's pretty fucking sweet. Like the fact that you're saying that you like listen to me and Aaron Dillaway and stuff, like, like, that's pretty fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah,
So
no, for real. I gotta support, like, this is my best experience to have. I guess the last question I could get for the fan on here is like, what about the rap songs?
Well, let me take a sip of water for that one, sir. uh, I'm going to give you a real answer because it's actually a pretty funny fucking story. I worked at a pharmacy for like 5 years. I've lived like out in the middle of nowhere, a small town,
Yeah.
So, anyways, at the end, I quit because it was, my boss is like a 93-year-old man. I fucking love him. And then I
Yeah.
just worked with like these 3 or 4 ladies, and they were old, like bitchy ladies or whatever. But I all thought we were friends. But anyways, they tried framing me for stealing cigarettes. I ended up finding the cigarettes and all the evidence that they didn't frame me. Blah 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 blah. Well, nothing really got done, so they started treating me like shit. So I quit. So there's that.
Oh
So when
shit.
I quit, I still was running their Facebook page. So I wiped everything and then just randomly titled it Slap Titties Incorporated. Uh, so like 9 months later, some shit, all of a sudden one of the ladies from the job is posting on my Facebook telling me to get that slap titty shit off of the pharmacy page, or they're gonna like call the cops or some shit. So, uh, instead of responding, I just recorded that Slap Titties Incorporated Still Slapping song and and just uploaded it and was like, no, Slap Titties Incorporated's a rap group. And even the lady's daughter was commenting and being like, he wiped everything from the page, he's not really doing anything wrong, the page, but she was adamant. So this is actually so this is 2020, the beginning of it. So everything had just shut down pretty much,
Yeah.
or was shutting down, something of that sort. So, anyways, that night, one of the ladies that I used to work with, who I still talk to, called me and kind of told me the dirt of, every time a customer would come in that day, she'd be like, you remember that guy who worked here with the beard? And then she'd like say slap titties and everyone would just like look at her weird, and shit. So anyway, she wants to take it to the cops.
Oh
So
God.
the lady's like, so she gets back from the cop shop, and I'm like, wait, she fucking went to the cops? And she's like, oh yeah. And she had to wait 4 hours after work because, everything was shutting down and stuff. So the cops were like, made her wait or whatever reason. And so she gets back and she's like, those fucking assholes are useless. They laughed me right out of there. So I guess she went into the cop shop and fucking played them the song. And they just like fucking started laughing and she just left. So next thing you know, everyone locally, like at my new fucking job, is coming up to me because I'm doing like carts at a grocery store.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you the slap titties guy? So the cops are showing so many people that it's getting passed around my small town to like everybody and shit.
Yeah.
So that's so from there I'm just like, I don't know, I really thought it was funny. So it was really just a spontaneous prank though.
Wow. My God. Fuck. Well, honestly, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. From you being like a collector to being in noise and like, especially, being a juggalo and all, and stuff like that. What are your, do you have any other future plans or just living by day by day?
Yeah, day by day. Hey man, I might press the make them laugh thing eventually if I get some cash put aside to do it, because I like it enough. But yeah, nothing, man. Just appreciate you fucking getting a hold of me and let me
Yeah, man.
reminisce and chat it up with you and shit. And thanks for digging what I do, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. If you got anybody out there is interested, definitely press that. Yeah, definitely. We got some people saying press that. We got a lot of fans in here ready, and this is definitely looking forward to hearing
did you get your
about it in the
package yet,
future.
by the way?
Not
Before
yet.
we cut off here? No?
Not yet.
Bummer, dude. Oh, bummer. All right,
But
cool.
it'll be coming soon. But yeah, appreciate it, and hope you have a good day.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. You too. Whoop,
Whoop
whoop.
whoop.